Well, something that literally everyone saw coming. Fugitive Nicholas Rossi guilty of struggle snuggle after extradition to the United States. This is the guy that was like completely denying who he was. He even made that basically he got identified because he was living in Scotland and there was a wanted poster up in the hospital and he got identified by his tattoos. And this guy even says that the tattoos were tattooed on him while he was asleep and under anesthetic. Like, the guy is just like a pathological liar. An American fugitive who faked his death and fled to Scotland to escape justice has been found guilty of struggle snuggle in the United States. Nicholas Rossi, who appeared in court under his other name, Nicholas Alaverdian, had denied all charges. That's his real name. The case relates to an attack in Salt Lake County, but he still faces another trial for an alleged struggle snuggle in Utah County, which is scheduled for September. It took the jurors of 4 men and 4 women more than 8 hours to reach their verdict. Rossi will be sentenced on 20th October and faces 5 years to life behind bars. Rossi, who had previously been joking with his legal team, showed no emotion as the verdict was read out. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill says, "We are grateful to the survivor in this case for her willingness to come forward years after this attack took place. We appreciate her patience as we work to bring the defendant back to Salt Lake County so that this trial could take place and she could get justice." Yeah, the guy, like, faked his own death, moved to Scotland, like, he had, like, a wife and everything, and, like, he spoke with, like, this fake accent, but his accent, like, changed all the time and everything, like, the whole... Basically, I've said this multiple times, it's going to be a Netflix documentary. This is going to be a Netflix documentary. We appreciate her patience. In fact, I've just read that. It took the courage and bravery to take the stand and confront her attacker to hold him accountable. The court had heard from the woman Rossi struggle snuggled in Salt Lake County, referred to as MS. She said they initially met online in 2008, began dating, and were engaged after 2 weeks. I know these types. She said that's to, like, narcissists, they like to move fast. She said Rossi's behaviour soon changed, that he became controlling, borrowed money from her, would not let her drive her own car, and criticised her clothing. The court heard the women decided to end the relationship, at which point Rossi pushed her on the bed at his apartment and struggle snuggled her. The defence claimed the case was like a puzzle from a thrift shop, as it has pieces missing and there is not a complete picture, because the guy just lies so much. They claimed MS was resentful after losing money on the engagement rings and only spoke of the struggle snuggle allegation after seeing Rossi in the news 13 years later. The court then heard from the woman Rossi is accused of struggle snuggling at his apartment in Orem, Utah County, who appeared as a witness on the current case referred to as KP. KP said she met Rossi on social networking site MySpace, that's how long ago this was, in August 2008, when she was 21, and they began a short relationship. She told the court on one occasion she woke up at Rossi's apartment to find that he had spent up to $400 on a computer using her credit card details without permission. Rossi said he would pay her back, but after the relationship ended, admitted he did not have the money. She said he then began performing a sex act on himself, and when she tried to leave, Rossi pulled her clothing down and pinned her to a couch or other piece of furniture before struggle snuggling her. Rossi's trial for allegedly raping KP is scheduled to start in Utah County next month and is expected to last for 2 weeks. If anybody's wondering why I'm saying struggle snuggling, it's because YouTube dings you for just mentioning words. Like, for example, see for mentioning the word for unalive in the Chris Benoit video at like the 43-minute mark, the entire video got demonetized and age restricted for one mention of one single word. And that was a lot of work that went into that video, so pretty furious about that. So that's why I have to self-censor now. Danke, YouTube. Who is Nicholas Rossi? That's an excellent question, because the man's had like fucking 40-something alter egos over the past 10 years. Nicholas Rossi was born Nicholas Alaverdian in 1987. Rossi was the name of his stepfather. Under investigation for credit card fraud, he faked his own death in 2020 and fled the US in an attempt to escape justice. Authorities suspected he was somewhere in the UK. That same year, Rossi married his wife Miranda in Bristol, the very same year. Remember I say they like to move fast. He caught the attention of British press in December 2021 when he was arrested in the COVID ward of a hospital in Glasgow. Staff had recognised his mugshot and distinctive tattoos from an Interpol wanted notice, but Rossi claimed he was the victim of mistaken identity and that his name was Arthur Knight, an Irish-born orphan who had never been to the United States. And, like, he even turned up in the hospital, like the mafia bosses with the oxygen tank and in the wheelchair and all this stuff. And if you look at interviews with him, the whole thing's a joke. It's so messed up. Like, the guy, like, that's the thing is, if you're going to be a pathological liar, at least be good at it. Like, the guy was clearly at it from the very start. Honestly, that's basically, it is going to be a Netflix documentary. It's going to be wild. Like, the amount of lies and stuff this guy tried to pull. His accent changed all the time as well. Legal proceedings began, but dragged on largely due to Rossi's antics. He made a series of court appearances in a wheelchair, wearing a three-piece suit and an oxygen mask, maintaining his claim of mistaken identity. Rossi insisted that he had been given his distinctive tattoos while he was lying unconscious in the Glasgow hospital in an attempt to frame him. When asked by journalists, he had been unable to provide a birth certificate or passport. He sacked several lawyers before a sheriff ruled he was Nicholas Rossi and that his mistaken identity claim was implausible and fanciful. An order granting Rossi's extradition to the United States was signed by Scotland's Justice Secretary in September 2023, and he was flown back to the US in January 2024 after losing his final appeal. During a bail hearing in Salt Lake City last October, Rossi admitted for the first time that he and the alias Arthur Knight were the same person. He finally told the truth about something for once in his life. He denied fleeing to the UK to escape arrest, claiming that he had left the country and later used the alias in order to escape threats, so he's still lying. And there we are, that's the end of the article. So basically, he's finally been found guilty. This guy's been on the run for ages for multiple struggle-snuggle accusations, but also things like wire fraud, credit card fraud, blah, 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 but those charges aren't exactly being focused on. It's mostly the sex crimes that are being focused on. But even if you look at interviews where he's sitting down with journalists, like, journalists were like, can you really not walk? And he stood up, like, falling and stumbling, going, look, I really can't walk. And it was just it was, a hell of a performance. I'd like to thank the Academy and all that. But this entire story is wild. It's wild. It is absolutely insane. Just the sheer amount of lies that this guy's done. And, like, his wife defended him. His wife, like, he's got her completely wrapped around his finger. She, even with all the overwhelming evidence in front of her, she's like, no, his name's Arthur Knight, and, like, you're harassing this poor disabled man, but it's just, honestly, the entire thing is shambolic. Just the sheer amount of lies. Like, I hate that. I hate that where even a person is being caught dead to rights, red-handed, absolutely caught lying, they still lie. Like, I hate that. It's so annoying, and it's like, but you've been caught. In 4K, you've been caught, and then they just still keep trying to lie. But honestly, I probably won't do, like, a main YouTube video, because, say what you will about Netflix, right? Whenever they do a documentary, they do it really, really well. I wish I had the manpower, resources, and logistics to do documentaries to the level that they do. That would be really, really good, because I know I could do it better if I just had the means. But I'll wait for the Netflix documentary.